Alright everyone, and welcome to week 5 of Fort Osage Esports. Here we have Varsity Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. We're all very excited to have you here, and our first match should begin pretty shortly.
Step into the ring.
Alright, and our first match is beginning. We have Kerbo versus Sarah Bonita fan, both Fort Osage players. Looks like they're both playing King Dedede. Unusual character, haven't seen him so far this season. Very heavy, however, unlike heavyweights, he actually has a pretty good recovery. He has multiple jumps, and while he does have the slowest airspeed in the game, his up special goes an incredibly far distance. His main thing is that right there, the Gordo toss. That move controls a ton of space. It's a projectile, which is pretty rare among heavyweights that aren't King K. Rule. And it essentially allows DD to set up traps because its ability to stick to the stage and how slowly it moves. You can essentially run behind it to kind of alleviate the heavyweight problem of not being able to approach his opponent. However, as we can see here, Goto does have some pretty significant weaknesses. It can be absorbed by certain anti-projectile attacks, and it can be hit back with random moves. And we see that Kerbo will take Sarah Bonita Fan's first stock only after taking 50.4%. However, he does get hit by the dash attack. That move, not traditionally good in a vacuum. However, in the context of DDD's kit, the extremely low and extremely strong dash attack can actually work in conjunction with the aforementioned Gordo. So here, Sarah using that Gordo as a sort of get back to the stage tool, covering his approach. So another dash attack off stage. Uses Gordo also as an edge guard tool. This is a multifaceted projectile here. There are a ton of uses for it. Reads the roll in with the up smash, however, still at very low percent in DD, very heavy character. Both Godos collide into each other, and we can see another of the weaknesses. It will amplify in knockback depending on like what it's hit, and when it's hit. So a Gordo, if it's like the opponent reflects it, it can potentially be extremely dangerous, as we can see here, as Kerbo loses first stock. Still has a very slight lead though. Sarah Bonita Fan seems to be able to bring this one back. Gets him off stage, now has a slight lead of his own, which is immediately taken by the up special. That move is an incredibly powerful spike initially, and its landing hitbox is still good for disrupting approaches. Here we see that spike coming into play. Both the spike and landing hitbox generally can't hit at the same time. Trying to use the Gordo. The toss of the Gordo also has a hitbox, as we can see here. Generally want to avoid that, however, I'm sure it does have some niche cases that the players have found out. That down smash is going to take Sarah Bonita Fan's second stock. Kerbo maintaining a consistent yet small lead throughout the game. All Sarah needs is like one good opening to potentially go in the bag. That being said, he might not get it, and the up special doesn't immediately clank to ledge when he's going down, and that is going to be the first game. Now, both players not seen playing Deity before. I'm not sure if they just elected to both play them since they're both part of the same team, or if they simply both want to try out the character. Character pretty honestly not that great. He has a lot of weaknesses up close. He is very, very slow. He doesn't have like any fast attacks to speak of. Even his jab is incredibly slow. However, that doesn't matter as much in the Ditto, where both players have the same matchup. Generally, Kerbo made a bit better use of Gordos, I'd say. Both players were honestly playing that relatively solidly. It was a very, very close game. And all Sarah needed was one or two more openings, and he could have potentially taken that. We'll see how the second game plays out. They might both keep on playing DDD. They might switch to their main characters after that first game. Let's have to wait and see. But we're assuming they're playing the same characters. I'd say another thing they could potentially work on is their edge guards. Neither player edge guarded particularly well. One of them, obviously, occasional use of Gordo off stage, but a general avoidance of edge guarding has been a commonly occurring thing throughout the season so far. I'm not sure if it's just that players are like unwilling to like go off and like risk it, or they feel uncomfortable off stage, but given King Deity's unique position of having a pretty good recovery when it comes to distance, which is like what primarily matters in edge guarding, I'm kind of surprised they aren't going for more of them. DD's forward air, pretty good edge guarding move, doesn't have a ton of knockback, but at low percents can sort of link into itself if they're able to read their opponent's options like jumps. They could potentially take them as a result of that, and it looks like they're going to be switching characters here. So the DDD matchup knowledge not going to be of use in this game 2, with Kerbo going Ganondorf and Sarah Bonita Fan going Byleth. Byleth definitely has more range than Ganondorf, but is lighter. Has a far better recovery though, so their survivability would probably be somewhat comparable, if not slightly better for Byleth. That being said, both characters deal a lot of damage and knockback at the expense of speed, but Ganon is unmatched in the power department. Probably in terms of raw power, the strongest character in the game. However, he is also one of the slowest outside of Incineroar. Byleth does obviously have that range advantage. Sarah Bonita is going to have to use that a lot. He is down a game. This is potentially gain point. However, Byleth, I'd imagine, is able to zone him out pretty effectively. That side B forces Ganon to respect his space, and the forward air, very, very good spacing tool. Nothing that Ganon really has able to beat that. However, he can punish during the lag of his move, so we can see here with that forward air taking a stock, Sarah is going to have to play a lot more carefully, which means he can't just throw them out willy-nilly. He has to be careful. He has to aim them and intend to either hit him or hit his shield. Because if he doesn't, he has a lot of whiff lag on them, and Kerbo can absolutely take advantage of that, even with a slow character like Ganon. So here he goes for the Flame Choke. That moves around the opponent, forcing them to tech, and if they don't tech, as we can see here, he can get follow-ups. Is able to tech, reads the roll in, however, just mistimes it. Sarah Bonita fan almost rolls into the forward smash. That absolutely would have killed. As was mentioned previously, Ganon's power is immense. Most of his smash attacks can kill at around 50 or 60 against the vast majority of the characters. However, he is incredibly slow, and his disadvantaged state when he's getting juggled by the opponent is very, very bad. He has very, very poor landing options. T here is also very slow, which is something that Violet somewhat shares. However, that concoction of being incredibly strong does mean that Ganon's edge guarding game, even though it is limited in its range, is still very, very scary. A single forward air off stage spells death for a ton of the cast. You can see here for second stock. Sarah Bonita fan finally takes Kerbo second stock, both characters on even stocks. Kerbo on match point here. He just going to take one more of Sarah's stocks to win the set. He's going at it. So with the wizard foot, doesn't quite get it. Let's see what the forward smash launches Sarah off stage. Goes for the forward smash again, isn't able to hit it. Get up attack clips him. Zoning around that side B. However, Kerbo is just not minding any of it. Goes for the forward air off stage, isn't able to connect. Goes for the flame choke, whiffs that as well. Goes for the forward smash, is barely out of its range. Sarah spacing very carefully outside the down special range. Goes for a down air, predicting a high recovery. Doesn't get it. That shield's looking very small after even a single smash attack. Just barely makes it back. If he had waited any longer after that double jump, that would have been it, and that is going to be the game. Kerbo takes it.
Step into the ring. Ready?
All right, and our next set should be beginning here. We have Swarzy versus Corby. We have the Steve Ditto here. Swarzy only having dropped a single set this entire season. Easily four of his best players and potentially one of the best players in the entire tournament so far, in the entire league. Both players going to mine. However, Corby does get a slight lead with the forward air at the beginning of the percent. Goes for the forward air, doesn't get it, gets clipped by the minecart. Swarzy, this is what he does. Once he gets momentum, he has a very, very hard time losing it. Swarzy tries comboing and the tech out hit of the minecart into the forward air, but it doesn't work. Both players choosing to mine and just get resources. Swarzy hiding behind the wall. However, that works for both characters, and they both have the same general goal. Hits him on the platform with the up smash. Just be very careful when using that move, though. It's incredibly laggy. Swarzy only took 26% after that initial scuffle at the beginning of the set. At the beginning of the game here, Swarzy just been dominating neutral. That being said, Corby gets a slight comeback, gets a throw on him. This character does a ton of damage. It's a very volatile matchup. Both players could just break out a 0 to 50 or 60% combo just out of nowhere off any stray hit. No lead in this matchup, save for like a 2-stock lead, is really worth much of anything. Whiffs the up smash, also whiffs the up smash, this time on shield, though. Corby choosing to play a little bit more careful, not going for the punish. However, gets hit with the forward air, Swarzy off stage, now at a percent deficit. Hits with the minecart, combos it into the forward air, though that's going to be a co-confirm. Teching out of that minecart, which is a command grab. If you, like, get out of it, you are technically not able to do anything, so that is a true combo. Swarzy gets hit with the minecart of his own. Swarzy's off stage at 100% and at 150. Even a mere wooden sword forward smash is going to be enough to kill. Gathering resources, trying to get that iron for that minecart and the anvil. Anvil is down to air. It uses iron. However, it's extremely powerful and very good at breaking opponents' pressure and landing. One of the few moves that sends down like that actually is good for landing. As you can see, it's also used for his down throw, which adds more damage, makes it a bit better in combos. Minecart's rolled through. Corby sticking. Now that both characters are relatively even percent. Oh, that's going to be a big punish. Down smash. First hit is incredibly unsafe on shield. Runs to the block, not able to get it. Swarzy using the Electra back onto stage. Minecarts colliding with each other. Neither one beating out. Both players going back to neutral. Both just mining resources. However, Corby gets hit by the minecart. Swarzy gets clipped by the down smash, gets sent off stage, sets the TNT, forcing Swarzy to use some of his iron to go into a minecart of his own. Breaks the minecart with his forward air. Corby gets clipped by the back air. Corby doesn't have a pickaxe though. Now that's not going to matter with the down smash, and now Corby appears to be diamond tools. However, that wooden forward smash is still going to be enough to kill him. Block placement wasn't quite low enough for him to be able to tech off of it. Swarzy gathering resources, both characters playing very patiently. Gets hit with the command grab hit of the minecart. Flash off stage, Corby at 0%. 0% again, gets hit again. That move does not do any damage. Sets up an anvil trap. That move has a hitbox while it's traveling, and it does break blocks below it, meaning that if a block breaks while it's on it, it will regain its hitbox after previously not having one while it was sitting on the block. Gets hit by the minecart again. Swarzy not going for a punish, realizing he missed the first two times. Instead elects to get stage control. Hits him again. Sends him off stage. This could potentially be huge. Swarzy been hitting a lot of minecart command grabs recently. Corby going for the high to low recovery. Whiffs the up smash. That could have potentially been a way bigger punish than it was already. Looks like Swarzy set the TNT to force his limit his recovery options back to ledge. Hits him with another minecart. Is barely able to match out of time, and there's not going to be enough room for Corby to be able to do anything. He's out of range of blocks. And Swarzy takes game one. Now both players play that pretty well. However, Corby appeared to struggle a lot with Swarzy's minecarts. That move is become infamous in recent years in neutral. It is incredibly easy to just catch opponents out with it. Especially in recent months, people have been learning that Steve is a far better character than what was initially realized, and potentially one of the best characters in the game. Minecart is a not insignificant reason why, and we may not have seen a lot of it, but another thing that Steve has is his combo game. A ton of his moves will simply just lead into very, very damaging combos. Up tilt especially is the primary one here. He can do easy 0 to 50, 0 to 60 combos. And Swarzy is generally pretty consistent with him. However, he didn't seem to get a lot of openings to be able to do it that set. That's just one of the things with Steve that you gotta remember. You don't get a lot of openings against the character because he has such good neutral, and he's like such a good defensive character. Oh, it looks like both players are choosing to go the Enderman skin this time. This could potentially be somewhat hard to commentate. It looks like they're switching it up. There may have been a stage debacle. They may simply not want to do that. And it looks like they both elected to switch skins, so it's easy to tell them apart. Swarzy going in with the Swedish Alex and Corey with the zombie skin. Corey wants to win the set. He's going to have to move a bit better around minecarts, and if Swarzy wants to win, he may have to get a bit more consistent with his combos. However, minecarts appear to be working for him. It's a slight opening. Corby has a slight lead. He had a slight lead at the beginning of the first game. However, that didn't do much for him. The first with the jab gets grabbed, though. Looks like he goes for the forward air to dash attack confirm / mix up and isn't able to get it. Swarzy trying to forward smash through the blocks. Is able to avoid it. Avoids the minecart. Doesn't punish the up smash. That move is impossible to punish on platforms. However, it's very easy to punish it whiffs. Which is the big thing to remember. They cannot whiff that move. They have to be very careful when using it because if they miss it, they will explode. They will eat the biggest punch the other character can have. Swarzy goes for it. The jabs clank with the hitboxes of the down tilt. However, Swarzy gets knocked off stage. Swarzy at a percent deficit right now. Oh, uses the electric, combos it into the weak reverse hit nair. That's a special move that Steve is able to do. He's able to use his nair in reverse while rising. It's very weird, not generally applicable. However, Corby takes the first stock and has diamonds at 75%. Swarzy barely misses a forward smash. This could potentially be big. Corby has the lead. However, Swarz's combo game shown anything, as that leads mean nothing to him. Forward smash on shield. Swarz's shield looking pretty small. Swarzy gets it. It's too high percent for the confirms to work. Whiffs it, however, doesn't get punished super heavily. Uses the minecart. Both characters whiffing their smash attacks. Corby building a percent lead, uses the TNT traps, and Swarzy avoids it with the block. However, gets clipped by it and bounces off the block in order to survive, and that is just barely not enough. If Swarzy had charged that even a bit longer, that would have been the kill. However, he doesn't, and Corby's able to survive. This is potentially really bad. Swarzy doesn't have diamond, he's at a percent deficit and a stock deficit. Players Swarzy trying to get diamonds. He needs to get diamonds if he wants to come back, and he has it. Immediately has to craft them up, though. Looks like he might be trying to get diamonds, and Corby's approaching to prevent that. With Iron for the Anvil, just barely whiffs the forward smash. Any forward smash at this point will kill both players. Goes for the Anvil trap, isn't able to get it. However, he does get the forward smash. Swarzy takes this opportunity to mine, desperately trying to get diamonds without second stock. He could potentially make a comeback here, but it's going to be very difficult. That being said, there's a character who can make a percent comeback like this. Is going to be Steve. Whiffs the up smash. Once again, gets punished by the dash attack. Not punishing super heavily here. This can potentially be to Swarz's benefit. Slowly clawing his way back. Both crafting tables right next to each other. That moves very unsafe on shield. Not able to get his good combo starters. Uses minecart. His anvil bounces off the block. Block in a strategic defensive position, so he can potentially tech off if he gets hit by a strong enough attack and sends it the other direction if it is, so he isn't able to die. However, the block disappears. He's not able to use it to that extent. Player's playing patiently, waiting for the other to make a mistake. Swarzy gets a stronger hit. He's almost completely made up the percent deficit. This is what diamond tools allow you to do. Now Swarzy has his own. It looks like he's probably just going to try and play without it until he can take that stock with a down smash. Slowly mining his way. Gets hit by the minecart though, and he's might be able to make it back, and Swarzy makes it back with insane difficulty. It looks like he doesn't want to use his diamonds. However, he will make use of his up tilt still, just try to get some percent on him. He's pushing for that combo opener. If he gets that, this could potentially be huge, because all of a sudden on a percent lead and a stock lead. However, that's not going to be enough. Both characters at 0%. Swarzy though has diamonds. Both players have diamonds. Swarzy gets the first opening. Isn't able to combo it though. Gets hit by the forward smash to interrupt it. That could have potentially been his chance, but since that mix-up failed, he's going to now have to play neutral once again. Minecart off stage. Corby isn't able to get it. The forward smash barely misses. Both players are dead even. This is still any player's game. However, he hits it with a spike off stage. That's not going to be enough. Swarzy takes the set 2-0 with a surprise spike in game 2 stock 3. Last stock situation there. Swarzy takes the set.
into the ring.
Alright, and for our next set today, we have Sarah Bonito fan versus Lucas Omega. Unfortunately, we weren't able to catch game 1 of the set because we were watching Swerzies. However, Lucas Omega took the first game with his Incineroar versus Sarah Bonito fan's Byleth. We could potentially see a counter pick here. Incineroar, slow character, one of the many slow and strong characters in this game. However, he has the unique Revenge move, which is a counter that absorbs projectiles and regular attacks and essentially powers up his next attack based on how strong the moves he absorbed has been. This essentially allows the character to deal insane amounts of damage in 1 or 2 hits. As a trade-off for this, though, he is very, very slow, the slowest character in the game. This is going to be stinging it in Sarah Bonito fan going Jigglypuff. Very, very volatile matchup. Jigglypuff, floaty character, great recovery, and good edge guarding versus Incineroar character with bad recovery and is extremely slow. However, because Incineroar deals so much damage, Jigglypuff is debatably the character with the worst survivability in the game, or at least the second worst, right behind Pichu. This could be an absolute wash on both sides. Here we see Sarah Bonito already at 93%. So trying to get by, that dash attack very nearly kills. 111%. Lucas Omega goes for the Lariat. That's going to be enough to kill. As we can see here, Jigglypuff is the second lightest character in the game, and it's really showing here. She's also incredibly floaty. However, he does hit with a Sing, and he whiffs the rest. This is going to be a gigantic punch, instantaneous 35%. Using rollout, not traditionally considered to be a good move. However, if you don't know the specific ways to punish it, it can be pretty useful. Goes to grab, just whiffs it. Gets hit by the dash attack. Jigglypuff is very calm off stage, though. She has a ton of jumps and is very floaty. She's very high air mobility, I believe the highest in the game besides, perhaps with the exception of Yoshi. And her air acceleration is second to none. Combines with multiple jumps and slow fall speed, she can move very well in the air. However, it's not going to be enough to move out of range with that forward smash. The intensity forward smash and finally taking Lucas Omega's first stock. There's an absolute mountain to climb here, especially considering how few interactions Incineroar needs to win in order to win this. And unlike most other light characters, Jigglypuff is not particularly fast. It's here nearly 60% being done in 1 or 2 hits. Gets another revenge. That forward smash hit that could potentially win the game. Instead gets hit with a weak hit, which takes him all the way to 87. Oh, the rollout gets intercepted by the up air, and that final up air is going to be at Jigglypuff's weight, failing it once again, as Lucas Omega takes the set 2-0.
Step into the ring. Ready?
Alright, and for our next set, we have Kerbo versus Gallifrey. Kerbo going Captain Falcon and Gallifrey going Pyra/Mithra, also known as Aegis by the community. Collectively, these characters are pretty complicated on account of technically being 2 characters in one. Pyra is the stronger but slower of the 2. You can see here very slow attacks, however, already at 64%, Kerbo nearly got knocked off stage by that single forward smash. And Mithra being a lot weaker, however being a lot faster. Both characters have good range and terrible recoveries. Captain Falcon, on the other hand, has a mediocre recovery, good weight, very good speed, movement-wise. However, you can like struggle to get moves out initially. Good start up on them, and you can see here Pyra's, specifically, power coming into play. That up smash takes Kerbo's first stock. Kerbo, however, could potentially make this back. Captain Falcon has his own strengths. That up smash is extremely powerful. It's been buffed several times through multiple patches. Looks like he's just trying to get it. And that confirmed not enough. Accidentally short hops to the forward air instead. Gallifrey has a pretty comfortable lead here. Reads it, not able to get it though. Down air to up air, doesn't kill. And descending up smash hitbox is gigantic and has high knockback. Forward tilt launches Kerbo off stage, goes for a forward smash, but he's not able to get it. Kerbo struggling against Gallifrey's range here. Captain Falcon traditionally does alright against swordy characters, however, against Pyra, and especially I'd imagine Mithra, characters who can outspeed him, both in mobility and frame data, this could potentially be a very, very rough situation. However, Kerbo started to learn the matchup, realized that you can shield that move, and it's very unsafe. Hits with the sweet spot of his forward air knee, and that is going to be enough to take Gallifrey's second stock. As mentioned before, these characters have terrible recoveries. Mithra's is slightly better, however, neither are very good. All he needs to do is get him off stage, and Kerbo does have high rage, which means his knockback is going to be increased compared to a character who's at 0% thanks to his high percent. Jumps over the projectile. Gallifrey's been using the up smash, nearly kills. An incredibly strong move. Kerbo's brought this back. Nearly up smashes the up special. However, Gallifrey's, that hitbox is just going to be too large. Immediately starts forward smashing. However, that could have been to his detriment. This could have potentially just lost him the game. And that's going to do it. The up smash KOing. That forward smash could have potentially just single-handedly lost him the game, because when charging smash attacks, you take bonus damage and by extension bonus knockback. He might have been in ledge range if he had simply just not done that, but because he did, Kerbo's been able to take game one. Now the main thing that I feel that these players should focus on, Gallifrey is using a lot of smash attacks seemingly mindlessly. It worked out at the beginning of the game, however Kerbo very quickly learned how to adapt to it, and those moves are not safe on shield. Gallifrey also appeared to use primarily Pyra, a character who, while very good in her own right, generally Mithra is considered better, and especially in this matchup, where Mithra has more range and more speed than Captain Falcon, I'd say Gallifrey should probably be using a lot more Mithra than he is, especially in neutral, and simply just use Pyra to get those kills, which Mithra can struggle to get. Being said, going into game two, we'll see if either characters of either players' game plans change at all. Going to Yoshi's story, the platforms here can potentially benefit a character like Pyra Mithra because he gives them slightly more recovery options. However, whether or not it's actually going to be that big of a factor is debatable, because their recovery's weakness doesn't come from the mix-ups you get on them, rather their distance. I was going for it. This is the up smash. Just with forward air, gets caught up on the forward tilt. Goes for the Falcon dive, or misses the Raptor move. Goes for the Falcon dive, just misses it. However, does get the strong hit of that knee. That has been coined by the community as the knee of justice, and it's pretty obvious to see why. That move has incredibly high knockback when it hits its sweet spot at the very beginning of it. However, it is comically weak if you hit it any other portion, so it's important to be precise with it. The Falcon dive. Uses the up special, gets hit with the forward smash, however is able to avoid it, hits with his own forward smash in return. Pyra now at 89%, looks like he doesn't go for the Falcon dive this time, instead chooses to wait for the green option to punish it. Gets it off stage by the forward air, Gallifrey sets up the projectile, trying to catch it. Kerbo spot dodges through the up smash. Reads it how the platform's going to prove useful here, avoiding the punish from the up smash that lost Gallifrey game one. However, the scooping hitbox on the up smash is massive. That's going to be more than enough. Kerbo, still on his third stock, brings Gallifrey to his last. After Gallifrey appeared to be winning game one, Kerbo just brought the set back. That being said, up smash not going to be enough. Trips him, however, still has the respawn invincibility, not enough. Goes for the down smash, gets interrupted. Turbo not finding an opening. Goes for the grab, just whips it. Hits with the first hit of Nair. Hits the weak hit of knee. Whiffs the grab. Gets hit by the forward smash off stage. If that forward smash hit, that could have potentially been the stock. Even though he does have a good lead, this is still more impossible to whiff. Just more impossible to lose this. Waits it out. Smartly goes to the throw off stage. This is their big thing. Goes for it, trying to intercept the high recovery. However, instead uses Victor's side B. Falcon goes through it with the Falcon kick. Goes through the projectile. This is another bit of matchup knowledge that Turbo could potentially use. And Gallifrey SDs, the extremely fast downward extended up special, going to be his downfall as Turbo takes set 2-0.
Step into the ring.
And for the next set of the day, we have Sarah Benito fan versus Level of Tryhard playing under the tag of his home school. Tryhard, the Me Brawler, versus Sarah Benito fan's Peach. We've only seen him play this character once before. He features a unique float mechanic. However, he doesn't appear to be particularly fond of using it, instead playing a more neutral-based game. Level of Tryhard, on the other hand, uses Me Brawler, an incredibly fast and fundamentals-based character with some nasty kill confirms. You can see here that you're going to see a lot of that thrust uppercut special move. He has a ton of ways to confirm into it, especially off down throw. Just misses the confirm there. However, that is a universal kill confirm against all characters at varying percents. This is going to be this character's main thing. They were looking for this a lot, especially later on the stock cover. He does have some weaknesses. For one, that forward smash is incredibly laggy and very viable to be whiff punished. And with this specific configuration of that up special, his recovery is not good. Appears to be missing the confirms. See Sarah Benito fan though using that float to try and get back to stage. The get up attack over that up smash is going to be enough to take Sarah Benito fan's first stock. They'll try hard at 92%. Sarah Benito fan using float more, trying to use the aerials to sort of space him out. However, is not able to work. Simply blows right through it with speed and aggression. Tryhard avoids the turnip. The dash attack, both players just whipping moves, trying to get a hit on the other. Sarah Benito fan gets it with the down throw. Isn't able to get any follow-ups. Oh, hits with a late hit Nair. Combos it into the thrupper. Already gets 49% against Sarah Benito fan. Both going at it. Hits him with the forward air off stage. That's going to be very powerful. Hits him with the turnip. Keeps this turnip, trying to cover his position. Hits him with it. Tries going for another forward air. Goes for a forward smash. Gets it shielded. Level Tryhard has max rage here. He could potentially kill if he gets the confirm that he needs. Still going for a dash attack. However, looks like Sarah Benito fan's own dash attack is going to be enough to kill, especially at this high percent. Trying to toss turns and just keep distance, just play neutral against this character. This could potentially be a bad idea, though. Meat Brawler's neutral is very, very serious because how fast he is. And that aforementioned forward smash, it may be slow, but good lord is it strong. Serbanian fans on his last stock will level tryhard is only at 15% on his second. Using the incredibly fast frame 3 nair, that move comes out in around a 20th of a second. It's extremely fast, and in combo break, it plays neutral and has basically no lag. Just misses the thrower confirmed though. Serbania fan hits him with the up air, puts him at disadvantage, not for long though. He airs out. Just was the forward smash, gets interrupted by the down smash. Serbania fans gets hit with the clap. Last few hits of forward air, predicts the roll in. However, the forward smash does get shielded, not able to time it correctly. Tries using the turn up on wake up, not able to though. The wake up invincibility blows right through it. Now off stage, and the lag on that parasol is going to be enough. Level of tryhard takes game 1 with yet another forward in a dominating 2-stock. Germany fans gonna have to adapt in order to win this. Not using a lot of float. This is the main thing that Peach is known for. She is a overall workable character until you factor in the fact that her moves have no landing lag, and her float allows her to do them extremely low to the ground extremely quickly. It may be very difficult to do, but this character can pull off some insanely powerful combos. She can take you from 0 to 70 consistently. That's even without getting into turnip shenanigans. Turnips are a unique projectile in that they're essentially work like an item, meaning that you pull them from the ground and she can actually grab them, hold on to them, and throw them when she wants. Depending on space, you can also theoretically pick them up. That's very difficult to do. The main thing with turnips is that they're actually RNG. There are several different faces that they can make, and different faces actually have different damage and knockback. The main thing is going to be looking for here is the Stitch Face turnip. This does 30%, which is a lot, and can actually work as a kill move, with the one downside being that it's exceptionally rare. Both players gonna have to keep in mind the turnip RNG. That being said, Sarah doesn't appear to be using turnips all that often, which, especially given Meat Brawler's up-close nature, could potentially spell disaster. For what it's worth, while I don't think level tryhard has shown that he has trouble kill confirming, or at least confirming into kills, I do think that the fact that he keeps on missing his thropper combos could potentially be something that could come back to bite him. That is one of Brawler's most reliable sources of KOs. He can simply grab you at certain percents and you just die. However, if he keeps on missing these confirms, he could potentially miss out on kill opportunities that may make a difference in the long run. That being said, as it was mentioned previously, he hasn't really shown that he struggles to kill. Those 2 forward smashes were especially brutal, punishing very laggy options that Serbanian fans should do their best to avoid. Off-stage play appeared to be pretty standard fare as well. Neither player really went off stage, however that might change. Lack of edge guards could potentially be turned on his head as Serbania fan goes Jigglypuff. As was mentioned, Meat Brawler's recovery with this layout is not particularly good. It's going to be helped with side clats on Kalos, giving him more room to work with. However, Jigglypuff's incredible aerial maneuverability as well as her incredible edge guarding could potentially be bad if he's able to get him off stage. He's able to sort of edge guard him and just hit his forwarders off stage for free. That being said, Jigglypuff is also light, meaning that she will die to thrust uppercut combos a lot easier than most of the characters. The fact that she falls so slow means it could potentially be hard to punish her if he tries to do anti-air thrust uppercuts. That being said, Sarah Bonifan has a slight lead, misses the tech, not able to get anything off with the down throw. Tries going for a mix-up, misses the pound, whips it again, both players missing their attacks. Again, that's not going to be in the range to potentially combo into a rest. This Jigglypuff's main goal, and that thrust uppercut is going to take Serbanian fans first stock. Jigglypuff's a very volatile character. He could easily make this back. Jigglypuff has rest, which is one of the most all-or-nothing risk-reward moves in the game. Incredibly fast, incredibly invincible on startup, and incredibly laggy. That move, she falls to sleep, and it will kill you at 50 if it hits, but actually hitting with it is very hard. He's trying to fish for it with the Sing there. However, Sing only puts opponents to sleep if they're grounded. Pretty big weakness. However, that back air is going to be enough to take the first stock. Both pairs in even stocks. However, Sarah Bonita fans have a 62.8% deficit. Players playing around. Level of try hard. With the drop kick there. That's one of his best recovery moves, especially horizontally. With the thrust uppercut because it doesn't put him into free fall. Whiffs the sing yet again, not able to get a good confirm off of it. However, at this percent, he might be able to confirm a sing into a kill if he's able to manages to land a rest off of it. Down here, goes for the sing, and if he doesn't whiff the rest, this could be the stock. And that's going to be it. However, Sarah Bonita fan just barely avoids a punish, however, does predict it. Able to get a punish of his own, not too good. However, that thrust uppercut's going to be enough. Floaty character, takes a lot of vertical knockback, combine that with her weight. That was more than enough to kill. Gets him with a dash attack. Goes for a sing yet again, trying to call him out, and he gets it. He might go for a forward smash off here, try to get him off stage and edge guard him. This could potentially be Bonita fan's chance. As the pound gets anti-air by the up tilt. Doesn't get a combo off of it though. The pound not able to convert it. Bonita fan at a good percent lead, however, because Jigglypuff is so light, can struggle to kill. This is far from over. Both players playing carefully, both very nervously. Here hits the pound, just interrupts the forward smash, goes for the sing, and he gets hit by it. Looks like he considered going for the rush, however, decided against it, simply goes for the forward smash. Sarah Bonita fan comes back with the Jigglypuff counter pick to take game 2. A level of try hard could potentially adapt here, though. Sarah Bonita fan does have the habit of missing a lot of sings, so because that move is so punishable, if tryhard can learn confirms potentially into Thrupper from the air, where Sing can't put him to sleep, or simply get better at timing his approaches after Sing is over, that could potentially get him a bunch of punish opportunities. Those failed punishes against Sing were one of the primary reasons that he lost game 2. He's done a ton of things, and a whiff punish was actually what lost him in that final interaction there. He went for a punish against Sing, however, didn't wait long enough, got clipped by it, and got forward smashed as a result. If he just waited a bit longer, he could have potentially won the game off of that alone. Sarah Bonita fan wasn't able to do a lot of edge guarding this game. However, it didn't appear to need to. That being said, he did kill enough. However, his kills weren't very consistent. They mainly rely on getting Sing, which aforementioned was very hard to hit. So he may want to look for a few more edge guards here, but that will be difficult because while Mii Brawler's recovery is bad in terms of distance, it's very difficult to try and intercept, or at least it's very dangerous. There's a ton of high knockback moves and has several mix-up options. That drop kick doesn't put him in a special fall. He has a feint jump, which I don't believe he's used much of this set. It sends him sort of up in an arc, has a bit of invincibility on startup, and can be cancelled into a dive kick. However, used on its own, it can be used to gain a slight amount of height and a good amount of horizontal distance. That being said, the height's going to be the main problem here. Jigglypuff doesn't have a spike, so this could potentially be a problem with him since Jigglypuff's edge guards are primarily horizontal. However, both players have things that the other player can exploit. It's just a matter of them either recognizing it or getting better at actively punishing it. Here, both players choosing the same characters going into game 3. Stage could also play a part here. Depending on what gets chosen, Sarah could utilize the mediocre recovery of Mii Brawler to its best effect. Looks like we're going to be going to small battlefield. The platforms here could potentially prove useful to Mii Brawler. This is a very common occurrence among characters with good juggles, like Mii Brawler or Mario, characters of that nature, is that their juggles become a lot better with platforms because it allows them to land on the platform and continue them higher in the air, especially with Mii Brawler, who has vertical kills. This could potentially be useful. Sarah Bonita fan has a slight percent deficit, however, just misses a combo off of the pound, gets hit by the shot put projectile, that neutral special. Haven't seen a lot of. It's pretty good. The rollout, not a good move. Just barely avoids it. Baits the out of shield option. Forward smashes, not enough to get the stock yet though. Goes for the edge guard. However, here we can see the feint jump. Pretty good recovery tool. Goes for the thropper, misses, doesn't get a good punish. Sends him off stage, gets clipped by the drop kick. Here we can see it also has a good amount of knockback. Canceling the dive kick there. A lot of lag. He was not able to punish. He was simply too far away. it. The drop kick hits, not enough to kill though. It has decent knockback, but even against a character as light as Jigglypuff, not going to be enough until 124% it turns out. That's going to be when it kills. Sarah Bonita Fan loses his first stock. Level of tryhard. Currently not doing so well, though. Goes for the edge guards, isn't able to get it. Interrupts in feint jump. He needs to do better at covering that vertical space, which is something that Jigglypuff can struggle to do. Sarah Bonita Fan. Oh, and he almost cheeses him with the multi-hits of down air. While she doesn't have a traditional spike, the multiple hits of down air, which send in the same direction that Jigglypuff is moving, can potentially do some very odd things if they hit in weird spaces, as you can see here. Into the pound, baits another out of shield option, goes for the forward smash off stage, not going for rests anymore. Doesn't feel confident in his ability to land them consistently because it does have a very small hitbox. Goes for the down air. Lands back. Gives the pound. They're just moving their attacks. Finally, level tryhard goes for the thrupper. Isn't able to get it. So he uses all of his jumps and goes for a rollout. Saves one. And level of tryhard SDs the dash attack, forcing him to go wide, avoiding the ledge. However, that second thrupper is going to catch Sarah Bonita Fan. Not too big of a deal. Both characters now one stock apiece, 0%. However, is able to avoid the hits of Sing. There are slight gaps in Sing where it's not able to put you asleep even if you are on the ground. Tryhard gets the very lucky timing there. The dash attack. Germany Fan not able to do anything. This could potentially be the game. It's not enough to confirm. He may be out of the percent window now for the thrupper confirms. Uses rollout to get back to stage, tries to beat him out. The forward smash faces the wrong direction with Sing, and that up smash is going to be enough. After a harrowing game 2, level tryhard manages to take the set 2-1. Alright, so a lot of our players have already finished their sets, so we may have a bit of a lull in the action here as we wait for them to be able to catch up to catch the last few games of the day. Be with you soon, quickly. I had apologies for the lull in the action. We should have another set starting relatively soon.
Step into the ring.
Alright, here we begin. We have Swarzy versus Bean Boy playing under the tag Helios, which is the name of his school. This is going to be a very interesting matchup because it appears that Bean Boy is going to be playing Kazuya. This is a incredibly complex character. Most characters in this game have tilt attacks based on the directions you press, and Kazuya is no exception. The difference is that most characters have up, forward, and down, whereas Kazuya has different tilts for all directions, special input commands which let him do certain other moves he can't normally do, and he also has a ton of moves that he can do only while he's crouching. Here we see him just barely avoiding it, able to recover. Kazuya's main thing is that he is slow and that he is strong. However, unlike most characters like, say, Ganon or Incineroar, he is strong to the point where he can 0 to death the entire cast with like 4 hits. He kills you at 20. He deals insane damage. He has incredibly good options, a ton of invincibility, armor on the smash attacks, and is generally he is the best heavyweight in the game by far, and is a very, very strong character. That being said, Steve has good range, which is something that Kazuya generally lacks, which is enough to give Swarzy the lead here. You see Bean Boy at 120% going for these electrics. Kazuya has a special move called Electric Wind God Fist, which is done with a very precise input, which is forward, down, down, forward, then pressing the attack button at the same time as the down forward, which can open up options for 0 to deaths and even infinites on the entire cast. However, he isn't able to land it. Swarzy took the first stock. Kazuya is a heavy character, but not that heavy, and he used his double jump all of a sudden. Deficit we're at, not seeming workable, even though Kazuya is a very good combat character. This might be a bit too much even for him. Steve can prove to be a problem. Steve's passive play and general zoning trap-based playstyle is very bad for a close-range character like Kazuya, especially one who can struggle to get in at times, and that forward smash is going to take it. With Bean Boy losing game 1 to Swarzy. He tried going for electrics there. He didn't actually miss any of the inputs, which shows that if Bean Boy is able to get that one hit, he could potentially just blow up Swarzy. However, he's not been able to land many openings, which is the big problem with Kazuya, especially in this matchup. You need to make your openings count and make them calculated, because Steve can just run circles around you, even though he's not himself a very fast character. Steve is a trap-based zoner, which means that his general game plan is to keep the opponent out and only rush in on his terms. He doesn't want the opponent approaching him, he wants to approach the opponent. He has the tools to enforce that too. His frame data up close is ridiculous to sort of dissuade approaches, and he has a ton of projectiles that minecart, and as well as stage control with the blocks, which force the opponent to move around them. Kazuya is the uniquely slow character in the game. Having to move around blocks is a huge detriment. There's a lot of ways in which Kazuya is slow. You can see here he also is very heavy, which means that he takes less knockback from moves, which is both a plus and a minus. Plus because he survives longer, minus because combos are easier. As we can see here, Swarzy nearly hitting him with the forward smash over the combo. However, he goes for it, misses the electric input. Could have potentially been a stock if he had hit the electric, because that move just lasts forever, and the amount of hits on hits it, goes for it, misses another electric, isn't able to go for the down smash. Here we can see a bit of what Kazuya wants to do. He wants to get a single opening and just rob you. He wants to just hit you once and then kill you off of it. However, if he keeps on missing the electric inputs, that could potentially be very, very difficult for him. His combos without electrics are not that great. Swarzy looks like he tried going for a minecart, but instead went for an electra, had to angle it some limits. Swarzy did take the first stock, however, he's at a very high percent against Kazuya. He's a very strong character. movement here for Kazuya. On the topic of movement, Kazuya does have the unique, you might have seen it, a dash where he sort of flashes white. That is called the crouch dash. It is a special input. And it is partially invincible. That's what the white flashing is known for. And Swerzy SD is accidentally going underneath the stage. This is a huge swing in momentum. If Bean Boy's able to get a single good electric hit, he might be able to take the stock. Swerzy misses the forward air confirm off the minecart, gets hit by the forward tilt. So a lot of electrics trying to hit him. Hits it with a minecart though. And that might be enough to be the game. Kazuya also, see here, Glowing Red has a unique rage mechanic where he does, which is different from traditional rage, as it gives him access to the extremely powerful rage art, taking Swerzy to 75% instantly. It also increases the damage of his moves as well as their knockback, which stacks with traditional rage. However, once we use that rage art, which is extremely powerful, once you use it, you can only use it once. And that back air is going to be able to take it. Bean Boy now on match point. Swerzy has diamonds in the bag. Currently using iron, it appears to be more than enough. Combos the minecart tech into the forward air. Uses block to the wake up options, and that back air is going to be enough. Kazuya, an incredibly dangerous and scary character, however, no match for Steve's pure consistency, as Swerzy takes a set 2-0. Alright, and here we have our next and potentially final set of the day. We have Swarzy versus Cubed. Cubed playing King K. Rool, character with a lot of special armor on his couple of his attacks, primarily most of his tilts, most of his aerials. However, this could it's a pretty good tool, all things considered. However, K. Rool, the classic slow but strong archetype. As we can see here, though, not doing well against Steve. Steve is a character who absolutely punishes this archetype. K. Rool does have a few things trying to mitigate the archetype's weaknesses. He has several projectiles, a counter that works against projectiles. However, as we can see here, those projectiles are not the cream of the crop. They are not the best projectiles in the game, and they do have very clear weaknesses. Swarzy dominating the first top, only taking 42%, using the anvil and stage spiking him off of the bottom. Pickaxe breaks. Swarzy accidentally air dodges. However, uses minecarts very carefully, tries to use it, and he's not enough. Swarzy accidentally SDs. However, whether or not this is going to be that big of an issue is debatable. He hits him with an up tilt and immediately takes him to 80.2% after SDing. Swarzy spacing out the neutral special, spacing out the side special, using blocks to build a wall, forcing him to break it, using minecart to break through the wall himself. So my first smash attack is able to. Forward smash send him to the other side of the stage. Swarzy simply waiting for him to approach. Kiro's approach is not good, however, Steve can force those situations, threatening getting diamonds. I'd imagine because he's on such low percent, Swarzy's probably, if he gets diamonds, he's just going to immediately go for it, and he does. However, rolls out of the cracking animation, so he doesn't have diamonds quite yet. Hits him with the command grab of minecart, however, looks like it flanks with something. Hits him with down tilt, immediately converts that into the big combo. There's going to be a ton of damage, an instant 63 off of a single down tilt neutral. Gets another one, not able to confirm it into the forward air. The up tilt though, goes for the block, goes for the forward air, isn't able to get it, use the anvil to limit his options. Side B once again gets spaced out. Swarzy now has diamonds on deck. Avoids the forward smash, waits for it to end, punishes it with a dash attack. Not what he was looking for. Over the block, broke a bit too quickly beneath him. Uses the anvil on K. Rool's recovery, trades with it, but that does not matter. Anvil is extremely strong. Special resource, and that is going to be game 1. There is not a lot that K. Rool can do against Steve. This is a very, very, very hard matchup. K. Rool is slow and he is big, but Steve has good hitboxes on a ton of his attacks. So the range difference that comes with having a bigger body doesn't matter, and in addition, he's heavier, which makes him easier to combo. He's larger, which makes him easier to combo, and he's slower, meaning he doesn't have any escape options, no moves that he can like buffer out of hit stun to potentially interrupt aggressive players, which means, guess what, he's easier to combo. If Steve hits K. Rool a single time, he's going to be converting it into a ton of damage, far more than he does against more traditional characters, more small body characters who are a bit more precise, can potentially wiggle their way out of combos that would just work against K. Rool thanks to his larger size. That being said, he's not helpless. He is very, very powerful, and his high knockback moves could potentially mean that he could take Steve stocks earlier than expected. However, that high power is really all K. Rool has in this matchup. His projectiles are easily blocked by block, or simply good movement. His disadvantage in his armor isn't of use against a character who can use a lot of attacks in rapid succession. And his recovery, as we can see, the final stock of the last game, very exploitable, especially with a tool like Anvil. He's going to have a rough time if he wants to win this set. He's getting the first hit, however, it's not enough. He gets the up smash confirmed, instant 65.6%. Gets the jab, combos it, back into the up smash, launches him up, gets the crown. This is one of the weaknesses of K. Rool's projectiles, is that his crown actually puts on an item that the opponent can throw and use himself. Goes for the down tilt, misses it, gets back aired off stage. Swarzy goes for the edge guard, doesn't get it. Another back air in that forward smash, long enough to take Q's for stock. Swarzy only taking 35.2%. He's an absolute slaughter. Hits him with the spike, combos it into the anvil, goes back off stage. 79, nearly 80%, now at a flat 96. Cubed has not gotten a single hit on Swarzy this stock. Projectile was avoided, and he does get the projectile back hit into the dash attack. This could potentially be it. Doesn't get the spike hitbox on 4 here. Instead, gets the outward spacing hit. However, that's still extremely strong. Uses the anvil, limits options on the ledge. Mindsmith uses minecart, hits it, and he's not able to wiggle out of it fast enough. Swerzy takes a second stop with the minecart command grab. Speaking of wiggling, one of K-Rool's main features is the fact that he has a ton of moves that bury the opponent. However, Swerzy's able to wiggle out of it just in time, so he's not even get a huge punish. Swerzy's stalling out on the block, simply waiting for his materials to run out, waiting for a chance, using anvil. Gets a hit. It's at 64%, and that forward smash, despite K-Rool being the second heaviest character in the game, that forward smash, the Diamond Sword, is going to be able to take it. Swerzy takes the set in a dominant 2-0. Alright, and with that absolute sweep, we are going to conclude Week 5 of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Varsity for 4th Stage Esports. Thank you all so much for tuning into the stream, and we'll see you tomorrow for JV.